So I was having a conversation with somebody a few days ago, a little bit anyways, or a few people I guess. I made the comment that men and women can't really be friends. At least what I mean by that, for greater clarity, is that we aren't really friends in the same way. Like a guy and a girl are not the same, not generally not friends in the same way that a guy and a guy are friends, rather, or a gal and a gal, right? In terms of friendship, I mean, generally speaking, usually guys and girls are not friends unless they're, you know, sexual or flirting or something like that. There's that kind of element to it, typically. Just to hang out and shoot the shit and so on. Guys usually like to hang out with guys, do that. And gals usually like to hang out with gals, typically. And the conversation actually continued a little bit this evening when I made the point that, you know, men and women are not equal. I think we've deluded ourselves for many, many years into this mantra almost that, you know, we're equal, we're equal, we're equal. And I'm not going to make the point that anybody is higher than the other. I mean, it's like saying, is an apple equal to an orange? Well, obviously not, right? They're not the same. But one's not higher than the other. I mean, they're just different. And the same with men and women. We're different. Men and women are different. Nobody can make the point, individually I'm talking, right? Nobody can make the point that we're the same. I mean, the only reason why there are men and women is so that we're here. If there wasn't men and women, we wouldn't be here. I wouldn't be here talking. There has to be men and women doing it, right, in order for us to continue as a species. So therefore, you know, if we think about it, for tens of thousands of years, hundreds of thousands of years, whatever it is, of men performing their role in the reproductive system, or in the reproductive process, women performing their role in the reproductive process, we're different, right? I mean, obviously a woman carries a baby in her womb for 9 months, breastfeeds, all these things a guy can't really understand, except maybe rationally, but not experientially, obviously. So what it ends up being is that we're quite different. There's like a spectrum of variety of human beings, I would say. On one end of that spectrum is men, the other end of the spectrum is women. Now people are going to bring up homosexuals and so on. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about the biological, the normal biological, right? The norm. And because we are different, we cannot, by virtue of that difference, be equal. This is ludicrous. This is preposterous. You would never present something like that in a science lab or whatever. You know, this is different than this, but they're equal. No, they're not equal because they're different. You can't have two different things be equal. It's impossible. But I get the point. I mean, the point is equal in potential and, you know, standing in a community, this sort of thing. We do our best, right? But that's not what I'm talking about. I mean, we're just different. So you can't have an equal relationship, I don't think. It's not quite the same. Because most of us have come in, you know, most of us. The odd individual becomes somehow enlightened and detached from all the cultural, you know, subconscious and all that sort of stuff, and can be able to separate that and see through it all. You know, I have very great friends who are females. But I'm just saying the relationship is different than a relationship with a guy. A friendship with a guy, right? It's just different. Now, having said that, you know, of course, every friendship is different. You know, friendship with guy A is different than guy B. Gal A and gal B are different, right? But I'm talking about a spectrum. Women tend to be on one end of the spectrum, guys on the other end of the spectrum. You know, but I mean, I enjoy my female friends immensely, and in fact, sometimes I find I get a better conversation from gals than I do out of guys. So it's just different. That's all. How does this help to improve the quality of our lives? Well, I think it's whenever we admit something, can come face to face with it in our rationale and say, okay, I've been speaking this stuff that we're equal. Hang on a second, but we're different. So maybe we're not equal after all. Which is not to say one is higher than the other. Remember, it's the apple and the orange, right? They're different. They're not equal. But how can you say one's higher than the other, lower than the other, or whatever? Just, they're two parallel differences, if you will. And men and women just so happen to complement one another. And as a result, we're here individually. We reproduce because of that complementing. Just a few words. Thought it might be interesting. For whatever it's worth. Improving the quality of our lives. Hopefully this helps a little bit. If it does, if it doesn't, feel free to comment down below. Share the video. Get the conversation going on ideas worth sharing. Steve here again. Talk again soon. Bye-bye.